Hello friends, and in this video we shall discuss the function arguments. In the previous video we've discussed what are functions and the various arguments for that. In this video we shall discuss. So we've seen that the function is a block which has a definition and the function's name, and in the parentheses you've got some parameters followed by a colon. And then you've got a return statement. In between you've got few statements here, right? So what are the type of function arguments? So first is required arguments, which are required as the name suggests. And then you have got the keyword arguments, you've got default arguments and variable length arguments. So let's just see them one by one. The required arguments. Now let's see this how it works. I define a function called print this, and inside this is a name and this is string. I pass a string and I end this function with a colon. Then I print the string and return. I pass the return. Now what I do is I call this, print this function. And I call this function, I write this function, and inside this I pass a string called hello everyone. And I run it by hitting shift and enter. And this gives me hello everyone. Now suppose I give another argument and I write print this, and I write my name is Priyanka and I hit shift enter. This will give me that string. Now what if I write, I again call this function name, print this, and I do not pass anything and I hit shift enter. It will give me a type error, and this type error, this means that this print this argument, this parenthesis is missing one argument, which is a string. That means I have to pass something inside this. Okay, this one required position argument is missing here. So if suppose I just leave it having colons, nothing is printed because this means none. So just to show you that this gives throw an error, and that is what required positional argument is, right, in functions. Next we come to keyword arguments. Watch this carefully. This keyword arguments, I define a function print info, and in that I pass two parameters called name and age. I end this block with return. I end this with this colon. Okay, then I print name and I give name and I print age. Okay, now simply I call this function and I pass age as 50 and I pass name is equals to Mickey, and I can just make it capital, shift and enter, and see I got name and age because I have assigned it. So I have got the same thing, and it has printed name like this and age like this because that's how I told it to print, and it is giving me name as same and age as same. Now what if I do not assign them over here, the keywords? If I don't assign them here, what it does is I same way I define a function with the same thing and I pass return. And after this return, instead of calling this print info, this the function name, I simply mention age as 45 and I give name as Ria. Then what I do is I pass this print info, that is the function name, and inside that I pass these two parameters. Okay, and let me just show you this first. What happens? And it print name Ria and age is 45. Okay, it goes with name and then age. Now what I do is I give you print, and I want a little separation, so I just separate this, and then I want print, then I will give age is equals to suppose 35, and I give okay, let's just check this. Okay, and I give name is equals to Chan, right? Chan, just so see, now it is giving me some error. What is it? Age is invalid keyword argument for print. Now why is it invalid? Because this is case sensitive. Okay, so I have to write here age. I'm sorry, I have to write here age, and I have to make caps lock name. Okay, again it is a type error, invalid key argument for print. Why? Now I have to pass a function. I don't have to say print. Okay, I have to pass print info, and then it will print the name as Chan and will give me age as 35. Okay, so follow the sequence. It is following the sequence name and age, right? Okay, then come to default argument. What is this default argument? Default means by default, which has been assigned previously. So I again define the same. I'm taking the same, you know, function name in all the examples, and here I assign name, and I already assigned this age by default as 65. Then this indented this thing, then print, I print name and age, and I exit this function by return. Then I call this function name print info, and in age I give 56 here, and name I give Katie, and in the another print info I just give name equals to Jack. I do not give anything else. The second argument is missing here, but when I run this code, it will by default take the age as 65, right? Next is variable length argument. Now this variable length argument is yet fourth one, and what I do is I again define a function, and here I have got this I define this function as print info, again the same thing, and inside this I pass one argument and I give this var tuple. Now this asterisk has a different meaning here. This asterisk is placed before this variable name, and this holds all the non-keyword variable arguments. Whatever variable I want to give which are non-keywords will be held here. So asterisk is placed before this. Now what happens is, this is a doc string which I'm giving you so that you understand what I'm doing is that you print a variable past arguments. Okay, so I give this print output is, this will print output, and I give print argument 1, and what I do is I run a for loop for var this index. This is called an index, so this will run in this var tuple in this, and this will print this var, and it will return this function. I am now I'm completing this function, and then I will call this print info, the same function name, and I will pass first 10. This is the first, anything you can give me, okay, and this will map to first argument, and in the second suppose I give some list, some tuple, um, and these are variables which I pass in here, and when I run it, this will give me, what it will do is it will map this with argument 1 and this with the non-keyword argument, this var tuple. Okay, now suppose I want to experiment a little. So I have just again defined a function called pre, and I've taken argument 1 and var tuple, and if suppose I want to write pre here again, and I pass a list of another variables, and I pass a string here, will it be printed? Yes, it is printed. Okay, now if I write here pre again, and if I pass a few more things, will it be printed? So many things are there. Okay, and if I hit shift enter, so you see here that everything is printed. Okay, everything is printed, and it is printed line by line. What if I do not have this for var and var, and I just write, suppose I write here only, I just simply write here print, and I just write asterisk var tuple. What will happen? It just gives me first argument, then it gives me 1345, and then you look at the arguments, then you look at the output. It is giving me first 24, that becomes the argument 1, and then rest is simply treated as a second argument and printed as just one character, right? Like this. So if you don't want this, just try for this one. Use this for loop here, okay? And we will follow this return, okay? So this was it for this video for function arguments, and we have seen various arguments. In the next video we will discuss lambda function. Okay, and this is an anonymous function, so we shall discuss this. And thank you for watching.